Hey, gang, I'm excited to share with you a question that people ask me all the time. Hey, Mike, when do you think that the market's going to crash? When is the real estate market going to crash? When is the housing market going to crash? And so I want to take this time to do this video because unlike the stock market, where is live, instantaneous action being done, where people sell stocks when because they don't have emotional ties to it. They haven't lived in that home, kind of like real estate. It's a lot faster moving. It's instant moving. It's kind of like Bitcoin, okay, where you can see it going up, it going down. It's instant. Even though the stock market is rigged and they have surge surge protection, what they call it, where they unplug it so they don't allow it to really sink. However, it's live. Real estate is not. A great example is stock market is like getting a snake bite, right? You quickly get the snake bite, but you don't die from the snake bite. The venom has to take time to be processed into the body's tissue and organs for them to have failure. So same thing with the real estate. When the market crashes, it's basically a snake bite. But when I mean market, I'm talking about equities. And it takes a while to travel down to the system for the patient to feel ill from the venom. And the venom represents the real estate because it's a slower process. It needs to get time to get massaged in. Where the stock market is live, is instantly. And also, there's not a emotional tie, which is very, very important in houses because in houses, someone lives there, they grew their kid up, and in their mind, it's always going to go up because they're retail buyers, and so they're thinking they can't take a loss. So, to answer people's question, when is it going to crash? Very, very soon, you're going to see the major effect. But in reality, it's crashed in 2019, right in the middle of it, because in the beginning of it, because I saw homeowners in certain price ranges, they weren't able to sell their homes. They weren't able to dump their properties. Okay, and the same sellers that I follow with till today, they still haven't been able to sell their properties, many of them. So the crash happened in 2019, but it hasn't hit Main Street to where everyone's talking about it. But they will very, very soon after the forbearance period is over, after the mandatory foreclosure is lifted. I mean, the evictions is lifted. We're going to see massive, massive foreclosures because you got to think about it. Everyone was locked in into their homes. Businesses were not able to operate. Millions of people lost their jobs. Millions of people haven't made payments on their homes. Millions of people haven't made payments on their car payments. Millions of people are, business owners not going to go back and reopen up. So we're going to have massive, massive pain. The question is, when is that pain going to hit? And like I said, it's like a venom. The snake bite is the stock market. You instantly feel it, right? But the death takes a while for the venom to travel to feel it, and that's how the real estate market works, guys. Because right now, because of everyone being locked down, there was real estate agents being listed 50% plus drop all over America. You can real estate. We're not doing showings and stuff like virtual showings, whatever. But transactions were not getting done. Okay, now I'm seeing that people are now having signs in front of their homes saying houses are coming soon, or they're already starting to list their homes. Okay, and this is what I talk about the tsunami because everyone's is going to start listing their homes all at one time because they want to sell, and because of the credit crunch, right? Prices need to come down for the transactions to happen because in the market there's not going to be that many retail buyers because they can't qualify, right? So prices are going to come down. However, it's going to take a minute for prices to come down because you're dealing with retail buyers in the housing market. You're dealing with retail buyers that have emotions. They love the property and they're thinking, hey, 2 months ago, my house was worth this much, or Sally's house down the street was worth this much. And then when they come to the market, they're going to still have that expectation. So there's going to be a time where it's going to be price discovery, where transactions don't get to happen. And when transactions don't get to happen, that's when prices will start coming down. Okay. And then the other thing we have to realize is that there are going to be homeowners that are going to get foreclosed on. And when these REOs, bank owned properties, they hit the market, the bankers are going to lower their price to move these units because they're distressed properties. So even if the retail homeowners all band together and say, look, we're not going to cut our price, but there's still going to be inventory coming from just from the foreclosure process, because millions of small landlords have tenants that haven't paid and they're not going to pay, and the landlords have mortgages. Okay, so some of these landlords are going to go to foreclosure. So we're going to have massive inventory coming in from foreclosures. We're going to have massive inventory coming in from home builders, and then we're going to have the normal MLS people that are going to be listing, and everyone's going to on the retail side. They're going to be holding out, and that's when the price discovery is going to happen. It may take 6 months, it may take 12 months till people start lowering their home, because Julie down the street took $20,000 off, and Bobby down the street took $30,000 off, and then there's a bank-owned property that's $40,000 below, and so on, and that's when the avalanche will happen, and then that's when you're going to see the second wave, because the first wave is just a small wave coming in warning people. Then you're going to see the second wave of the tsunami hit, because now millions and millions of people that have jobs, they have mortgages. However, their homes are now upside down because the prices are tumbling down, and they bought FHA or VA loans and hardly, got highly leveraged properties. They hardly put any money down, and majority of the homes in America are VA and FHA and Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac insured. Okay, so that said, we're going to see a second wave of foreclosure that's going to be devastating, because there's going to be not way too much inventory, not enough buyers. And then don't forget about the commercial aspect of the business, where you're seeing re- retail, like if you have commercial lot, you're going to see a lot of businesses going, your nail salons, your personal training, your CrossFits, your so on, pizzas, and small restaurants. They're going to go on. They're even big restaurants, because even the biggest restaurants, the biggest franchise across America, didn't pay their landlords, guys. Not one, not too many, from Cheesecake Factory to so on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it's a serious problem, and there's going to be motivated sellers galore. Now, there's two ways to invest in real estate in this crash: the people that buy um, bank owned properties, or the people that go to the auction to buy the properties before they become bank owned. Okay. And those investors will need to have cash ready to exercise. So the people that are stacking their cheese, right, and are liquid, are going to be the ones that are picking up properties, and it's almost a guarantee, because whenever you buy something for that's worth 100 just a few months ago, and you're getting it for 50, or you're getting it for 60, then as long as you're willing to wait around for the market to come back, just like it came back 2006 fourth quarter, when the market really crashed, just like people say 7 or 8, but it really was in 2006 fourth quarter. If you wait, then you saw what happened to the market in 2016, 2017, just those properties, just so on. So if investors have cash, that's one option. But the option that I teach at Mr. No Fluff is that for other investors that don't have all the cash, maybe they don't have $1 million cash, maybe they don't have 500,000, maybe they just have 10, 20 grand or 50 grand, or what have you, or maybe they have the cash to buy one property and they want to buy more than one property, because they know a recession, the greatest depression, is here upon us, and it's a one time in a lifetime opportunity. Because guys, in the recession and the depression is when there's fear in the air, blood in the street. That's when the deals are very lucrative. But normally, there's only one way of doing it, which means you got to have cash, right? But the strategy that I teach is OPM, other people's money or other people's mortgages. And what that focuses on, motivated sellers, motivated sellers, motivated seller, which is the era of motivated sellers in 2020 because of what's happening with Big Brother and closing down businesses and so on, and not allowing landlords to do evictions, which, it's a mess. And all the money they're printing just like left and right and left and right. Okay. Um, so the opportunities that I teach is OPM and motivated sellers. What that means is there's millions and millions of sellers out there that have houses, that have beautiful homes, that have pretty homes in great areas with ultra low interest rate, never seen in the history of America, where you can get a 30-year fix, guys, at 2.5. I'm not even joking, guys. Uh, one of the biggest mortgage lenders just offered that 30-year fix for 2.5 mortgage. So with interest rates so low, that means there's massive cash cow on these properties. Okay, massive cash cow. Now, the strategy that I've implemented back in the last crash, and the strategy that I'm going to implement in this crash, is that I'm working with distressed properties. I'm working with highly motivated sellers, and I'm creating win-win situations where I buy their home, they give me the title or they give me the deed of the property, and and I make debt relief to them. I make their monthly payments to them. Okay, and therefore the seller becomes my private bank. I usually negotiate a non-recourse loan, and what that means is that, you know, simply put, I just step into the seller's shoes and I make their monthly payments while I own the property and I get to control the property. Okay. And the title is in my name or the deed is in my name. Okay. And the seller has the liability of the debt in their name while I own the asset. Okay. Simply put, I let them know they're okay with it because this is their best worst option. Their worst option is to let it go to foreclosure, so they don't want that, because they care about their credit. And their best option is to hire a real estate agent and then sell it that way. Some of them, don't want to do it that way. Some of them don't have enough equity to go that way. Some of them, maybe the house doesn't pass inspection. It won't go that way. Maybe they need foundation and they can't get a borrower to borrow money. Because the house doesn't pass inspection, so it's not going to qualify for an FHA or VA loan. So, and so on. So there's going to be tons of motivated sellers out there. And, you know, as a cash investor, I would prefer to buy houses with OPM versus putting all my money into a property. I would prefer to buy houses direct from homeowners where they become my personal bank versus me borrowing money from a bank. Okay, like going to a bank and say, "Hey, can I please get a mortgage? I'm trying to get a commercial. I need to put 20% down," and so on, because they already have existing mortgages. The sellers are already in trouble, and they need to exit. They need to exit, and as long as I create a win-win for them, and a win for me, and it's a worth for both of us, then we may pull on the trigger and do the deal. And that's what I did in the last crash. Now, if you guys have any questions, comment, leave it below. I'll be happy to answer it for you. Um, Now, how to make millions, and this is not financial advice or anything like that, but for me, in this market, is to find properties that are highly motivated and buy their houses without getting loans. All I'm going to do is ask the seller to be my private bank. Okay. Now, if the seller has a mortgage, that's not a problem at all. If the seller doesn't have a mortgage, that's not a problem at all. And the question is, can I sweeten the tea for them enough where they want to do this deal versus go the other strategy, which is a real estate agent? For example, in the 2020, 2019, and going forward, uh, many people are not going to have they're going to have marginal equities or zero equity or negative equity. That's how it's going to be. Again, it's going to be marginal, like 15% equity, which is nothing because it's closing cost, escrow, title policy, agent, post inspection, repairs, and so on. So 15% is nothing. The seller doesn't get anything. So in these situations, the sellers may go and try to sell with a real estate agent, but they realize that, hey, when I go to closing, I got to come up 20 grand, I got to come up 30 grand. And Here's a cool thing that I discovered in the last crash, because as a refugee, as an immigrant to America, my mom, my parents don't read or write, so I had to learn it by myself through trial and error. What I learned is that real estate not only has two positive golden eggs, so it lays two golden eggs. It lays more, but two that I want to focus on, which is cash flow and equity. Now, it also has other golden eggs like tax benefits and blah 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 and forced savings and blah blah blah. But I don't want to go into all that. What I want to go on to that the two golden eggs, that one which I learned, which is equity, and the other one was positive cash flow. Now, of course, I want to buy a house that has equity and positive cash flow, but in the greatest depression, what we never seen before in the world, where interest rates are 2.5 and the Fed is printing trillions and trillions of dollars. Guys, go ahead and click the like button. Share this message, please. If you have any questions, comments, leave it below. If you need any help with any of this stuff like real estate, or you need some coaching, go check out MrNoFluff.com. Join our academy. Be happy to help you guys out, guys, for $47 a month, where you get my best-selling courses, monthly coaching, plus Facebook groups, guys, for $47 a month. Unbelievable. Now, going back to the story, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment. I'll answer it for you. The two golden eggs is the equity and the cash flow. But in the greatest recession, there's not going to be that many people with equity, because most of these homes were, again, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, government backed guaranteed loans, and majority of people bought these homes leveraged. Okay, they bought their home leverage. What that means is they got too much debt on it. Like, they bought it like 97% debt. They only had to put 3% down, if even that. Some states, some cities had down payment assistance that haven't even put 3% down. Well, what do you think happens to these sellers, to these citizens, when they bought a house? They thought that the home is worth this much. The agent told them it's this much. The mortgage broker told them the house is appraised at this much. The bank appraiser says it's this much. However, today it's not worth that much. It's worth $40,000 to $50,000 less. And so when they go hire a real estate agent, they realize that, when I sell it, I got to pay out of pocket 20 grand and 30 grand, right? So the house is underwater, and all the other houses are underwater. And some of these sellers have no skin in the game, and so they're willing to just to walk away. Okay, and other sellers are not willing to walk away, and they care about their credit deeply, and they don't know what to do. But the point of the story is, because of the situation, there's not going to be a lot of equity deals, because I love to buy a house at 40 cents or 50 cents, because I know the market's going to come up as long as I'm patient and I hold it, right? However, there's not going to be that many deals out there. Now, if I'm spending time and energy and I'm only looking for this type of deal, then I'm going to miss a lot of deals because they don't fit that criteria, because the market doesn't allow it, right? Unless I'm willing to short sell it or do a loan mod, whatever, which, it takes a lot of time. And as someone that owned a brokerage firm, and we did a lot of short sells and loan mods, I don't like it. The other thing is that I can do is OPM, where, I buy the property. It may only have 15% equity. It may only have 10% equity, okay? Or it may have 0% equity, or it may have negative 15% equity. However, I don't have to get a loan. However, I don't have to have all the cash to buy this beautiful home. However, I don't have to do a credit check. However, I can negotiate a non-recourse loan. However, and here's the best part, because all the other stuff didn't mean anything, because with 2.5% interest or 3% interest or 4% interest on 30-year-old mortgages, fixed mortgages, they're going to cash flow like crazy, because the Fed has been printing money. Rents have just been going up, guys, up and up and up. Back in 2006, guys, 2000, a one-bedroom apartment in my area cost 500-600 bucks. In the same exact complex, now they're like 1,400, they're like 1,300, they're like 1,200 for the same exact one bedroom. So rents are just going up, right? That's what commercial buildings do. They got to increase the rent so they get more value for their property. So that's just the way it is. And so with rents going up, and even if they don't go up, or even go down the bank, going up for years and years and years, these people have ultra low interest rates, which means their monthly payments are ultra low, which means it's going to create a significant spread between PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance, and and the difference what the market is. So the market rent's going to be here, and these sellers' payments are going to be down here. So this is why I love real estate, because I can buy a property that gives me positive cash flow of 500, 700, 1,200 a month, unlike any other time in the history of America. Because before, you're happy with $200 a month, right? Excuse me. And the property, I don't have to put up all the cash. I don't have to use all my cash. I can save my cash for a really sweet deal. Okay. Now, the property may not have any equity, maybe negative 15%, maybe 0%, or maybe 15% positive equity. However, it's not a home runner. I surely wouldn't use my cash, nor would I go borrow money from a bank to buy that property, right? However, if the seller's going to give it to me, the house is a pretty home. It doesn't need a lot of work. I can instantly rent it out. The days on the market is very, very low. Then hallelujah, I would buy properties like that any day, even if they have negative equity, because I am patient. I can wait around. I know the business is cyclical. I'm a recession. I'm a depression investor. We never been to a depression. I'm 42 years old, but I've seen a lot of recessions, and I'm super stoked, and excited about the depression of 2020, because guys, it's world renowned. Every place closed down. Millions of people have lost their jobs. Millions of people are not making payments on their credit cards, on their cars, on their houses. So there's going to be tons of motivated sellers, tons of distressed property, and millions and millions and millions of people can make millions and millions of dollars in real estate. Not even talking about commercial. I'm just talking about single residential homes. I'm talking about duplexes, fourplexes, and commercial, right? But commercial is just a different animal. Um, that's why I like residential, because if you look at the average person buying homes, right, there are more people buying homes than there are people buying commercial properties, or getting office, starting a business, and getting office buildings. So for me, I focus on entry level homes, first time home buyers, because the market is big. There's so many herds, there's so many people there versus other stuff. But everything works for everyone. Depends on what you like to do. People make money in trailer homes. People make money in commercial. So that's the great thing about America. But it doesn't matter if you like trailer home, mobile homes, uh, commercial, storage facility. This is the era for OPM. This is the era for what I call subject to heaven. This is the era to make millions, because there's going to be millions of motivated sellers. Now, you do need to have skills, because if you have cash, then it's a lot easier to go to hire a real estate agent and buy shitty deals that are bank owned properties. And I say shitty because there's millions of eyes on the property. How can you get a great deal when there's millions of people fishing for the same exact fish, right? Versus doing marketing where you're digging for these fishes, and there's not a pond, there's not a trail, there's not so many other people out there looking for the deals, but you got to have skills. So the way the OPM, if you're interested in learning about it, join me at the Academy for $47 a month, guys, where I give you guys monthly coaching and tons of best-selling courses to help you find sellers, help you negotiate the paperwork, etc. Guys, at academy.mrnofluff.com. If you guys have any questions, comment, leave it below. I'll take some of those. Omar said, "Peace, God. What's the word, man? The word is whatever you want to be in life, be your dreams, because we live in the best country ever, America, and we're going to the best time ever, which is the greatest depression. I've seen recessions. I've never seen a depression. But it's going to look ugly, and people are always referring back to the stock market. Oh, it's going up, guys. It went down 40%. Now it's up. Uh, and I think they're just playing with people, to basically wipe out the remaining retail people, because they know they're not sophisticated. And the stock market is, in my opinion, rigged, and it doesn't reflect the real economy. It doesn't reflect millions of people in debt. It doesn't reflect mom and dad have to work. It doesn't reflect you know uh, all the injustices we see with police brutality, and it doesn't reflect you know the inflation, the price of groceries going up all the time. It doesn't reflect that the divorce rate is so high, because in the economic collapses, people get divorced because so much attention. So it doesn't reflect why there's so much suicide going on with our military when they come back. It doesn't reflect all the poverty, all the homelessness. So if it did reflect that, like the real market does, then it wouldn't be up, right? You know what I mean? It wouldn't be up. And This is the era of wealth building, but unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be getting hurt, and they're going to get on the government's nipple, and that's what the government wants: more people on their nipple so they can, control them. But guys, America's the best country ever. You come here, you don't have to speak English, you don't have to even know left and right, and you can be your dreams. So don't stick around and watch other people make moves. I'm not trying to tell you you should be an entrepreneur, but I am telling you to follow your heart, whatever that is, guys. Just do it, dude. Because in 2020, guys, you have the internet, you have social media, you have fast 4G, 5G. Guys, I started back in dial-up when it was net zero and AOL, guys. So there's so much opportunity here, guys. Click the like button. I appreciate it. Um, anyways, there's so much opportunity here, and so many people are going to have fear because our school systems have trained us to be, cubic workers. Cubic workers. What does that mean? That's someone that just works in a cubicle. They're replaceable, rechangeable, because you're just a part of the factory. They're just part of the assembly line, and that wheel can be replaced with another wheel that fits exactly the same way. Uh, and they didn't want us to be entrepreneurs. They didn't want us to be our dreams because, for whatever reasons, they didn't want us to. And that's why so many people are going to miss the opportunity like never before, because next leg of the market is going to crash and it's going to wipe out a lot of people, and great stocks are going to be pennies on the dollar. How do I know? Is because, one of the richest men, uh, Warren Buffett, he has billions of dollars parked in the banks. And if this was the only leg down, then he would have invested. But he knows, just like I know, that this is not his only leg down. There's more pain coming in the stock market, and that's why he didn't pull the trigger and buy anything, guys. Okay, just like I know in the stock market. So people are going to get massacred. Pensions are going to be bust. States are going to go bust. I mean, no one talks about the pensions. No, I mean, not the pensions. The Social Security. The security, programs that we have for the elderly and all the people there for their retirement, and that these things are bust. States are paying out unemployment right now like never before. States are bankrupt. There's not one, two, three, and no one's talking about all the people that paid into the system, and now they're going to be baby boomers. Because, man, baby boomers, guys. I got a degree in kinesiology, as a minor, and I can tell you guys, there's a big amount of people that are about to retire, and unfortunately, a lot of them can. Just the other day, we went out to eat. Old guy being our waiter, or being a delivery guy, or you see more older senior citizens working. And so these are all opportunities for some people, which is the banks and the bank cartel and people closest to the printing press. However, is misery for a lot of people. And on the other hand, for the awake people, the people that realize that creativity, imaginations, and America is a great country, there's a great opportunity out there. So it's a very sad time for many people. It's a very disgusting time for bankers, where they're siphoning away the riches of the people. And then there's people like me that try to save individuals' homes, one home at a time, and not allow the bank to get the property, guys. So, I love what I do. I don't like to buy real estate when it's not a recession, because it's too much hard work. I like to get deals, guys, and I like to get deals that are something that's worth 100, worth 40, or I like to get a deal where the price can be negative, zero, or marginal equity, but I'm getting massive cash cow. So the day I buy it, I'm already making money. So it doesn't matter if I have to wait 5 years, 10 years. I'm making massive cash cow, guys. Okay. Now, someone asked me on Instagram about the academy, if they want to work with me. Well, I have two programs if you guys need more help. Okay. The first program is my profit sharing. I work with you for 1 month direct. I'll give you $9,500 of business tools you need, from your website, so your marketing materials, uh, everything you need, guys. Okay, for you to have success, like your own franchise system without the franchise fee. It's $3,000. No one's gonna call you if you go online and you submit it, and you expect us to call you. You got to just pay by yourself online. You got to just fork over the credit card and do it. No one's gonna call you, so don't submit the lead. Expect us to call you and sell you, because we're not gonna do that. Okay, if you want to be your dreams, you got to be able to pull on the trigger yourself. You don't need a sales guy. Okay, because if you need a sales guy, you're not gonna be your dream. The other option, and the more value option that I have for people that don't have their money right, is the academy, which is you get monthly coaching, one meeting a month. I give you coaching, I answer your questions, and give you advanced things that are working in today's market. Plus, you get access to my best-selling courses for my mother course where I sell for $3,500, my VA course where I sell for $1,500, my owner financing for profit course, and so on and so on. You get access to all that stuff, okay? Uh, and you get the Facebook groups plus the coaching for just $47 a month. And this is basically just me trying to meet you and me helping you and giving so much value so you can take yourself to the next step, guys. Okay. Without a joke. It's called the Academy. Go to academy.com. I mean, academy.mrnofluff.com if you're interested in the Academy. If you're interested in profit sharing, go to profitsharing.mrnofluff.com or just go to My Real Estate Dojo. Everything's there, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching. Click the like button. Don't forget, you can be your dreams. We live in the best country ever. Peace.